from the deep, dark hollers of Knott County, Kentucky, where the moonshine is strong, the stories are strange, and your neighbor is probably your cousin. This is Appalachia, not so quiet. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Appalachia Not So Quiet. I am your host, Billy Phantom, and I am joined, as always, by my beautiful wife and lovely co-host,
Appalachian Shade.
So, Shade, my darling, I don't want everyone out there to think that I have twisted your arm and made you talk about this topic that we're going to discuss tonight. Because as most of our listeners probably know, you don't really care for the aliens.
No, I'm terrified because I know they're real and I'm waiting for those files to drop. So everybody that's been looking at me like I'm crazy for years will know the truth. I'm waiting.
The truth is out there.
It is.
Yeah, as you said, the government is actually getting ready to release, or have they already started releasing?
No, they haven't released them yet. They're working on it. I guess they have to redact a bunch of stuff.
Well, of course.
I know who Billy Bob the alien is, or so we gotta delete names.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta protect those really rich, important people.
That's been probed. And let those names get out.
It was a very weird series of events that led up to these files coming out. Anyway, I guess President Obama was on some talk show or podcast maybe, and said something about, oh, yeah, I think aliens are real.
Yeah, they asked him, they're like, so is aliens real? And he's like, I seem to think so.
He said, yeah, I think aliens are real. But he did say he never saw an alien body or anything like that. Then, like, the next day, I think maybe, Trump was talking to some reporters, and one of them asked him, said, hey, Obama thinks that aliens are real. And Trump's like, really? He said that? He said, yeah, he's seen some files on alien life forms and things, but he's never seen any himself. And Trump's all like, well, that's classified information. He shouldn't be talking about that. And then, like, the next day, Trump says, okay, go ahead and release everything.
Let's just let them have it.
It's so weird. That was just a strange series of events.
Might as well. He said that they are. So people are going to be asking.
And actually, it was President Trump in his first term that released a bunch of UFO alien-related files. That's when that big dump of Navy and Air Force, all that footage.
Video. And those guys even openly talked about it.
Yeah. A lot of those pilots and stuff went on podcasts and talk shows, news shows, and talked about what they saw. So we get back to right now, the current Trump administration. He's directing federal agencies such as the Pentagon to identify and make public records about unidentified flying objects, also called UAPs, and any related alien or extraterrestrial life files citing strong public interest.
So exciting.
And there is a lot of public interest. I mean, it's basically to the point now that there is no question whatsoever that there are strange things flying around in our skies, and we have no clue what these things are.
My only question is, are they coming from outer space or are they coming from the ocean? Because a lot of people go back and be like, well, none of our satellites have caught these images of these on camera.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. There's just as many, maybe more, reports of these things going in and out of the water, not just flying around in the sky.
That's something I'm looking forward to see.
So yeah, maybe they're not some life form from another planet. Maybe they're just a life form we know nothing about from this planet.
And here's why I think it plays into, it could be something from the water. That's one of my stories I want to talk about tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, we have both separately looked into some incidents of UFOs, strange encounters with these things from our region, from the Appalachias. Just some probably well-known and well-documented cases from our little area. Because, like I said, this is no longer a question of if these things are flying around in our sky, because we now know they definitely are. But exactly what they are and what they could be up to, those are now the questions.
And I want to know exactly what they look like. Because if they look like
Yeah.
these gray things that they show on TV,
Yeah.
Mama here is gonna have a heart attack.
I
They're
mean,
creepy.
there's so many different
I can't do the
descriptions.
big eyes. I can't. That's
I just wonder if
and the long fingers.
maybe we don't know at all what they actually look like
Yeah.
because they like have some kind of holographic projection or something that they put up.
Right.
They could just be making themselves look scary and weird.
Or could they be these cryptids that we're seeing?
Well, yeah.
Could they be these possums? Possums are weird. Just saying, possums are
Possums.
weird. Look at their tails. They're like a giant
Possums are
creek
not
rat.
alien.
There's nothing on this earth
However,
except anything else like them.
however, I do remember there for a while there was a lot of these stories about some scientists thought that the octopus, there's no way it naturally evolved on this planet, so it had to have come from another one. I have no idea if
Or
that's
the
true,
squid.
but I
Maybe
remember
the
reading some of
the
those.
jellyfish. They're weird.
Yeah, jellyfish are pretty
Yeah.
weird. Always liked the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The dolphins were actually the
Well, you know it's illegal to talk to
There's-
dolphins, right? Wild
What?
dolphins. You know it's illegal to talk to wild dolphins.
It's illegal to talk to wild dolphins.
Yes.
What?
It says it's illegal to talk to, call out, or whistle at wild dolphins. It's supposedly harassment under Marine Mammal Protection Act of 1972.
Okay.
Mhm.
I've never heard that before.
What do the dolphins know?
That's so weird.
Yeah, supposedly, like I said, it's harassment. They say it prevents a dolphin from losing their natural fear of humans, which is necessary for their survival. And violating these rules can result in significant penalties, including fines up to $100,000 and up to
Holy
1
cow.
year in jail.
Jeez. For whistling at a dolphin?
What was the name of the Flipper? You can't talk to Flipper. He was very intelligent. And then I bet they're probably like, oh, that's a glitch in the Matrix. That show never happened.
Mandela effect.
Yeah.
What are you
It
talking
was
about?
Flipper.
Flipper? What are you talking about? There's no show called Flipper.
Mhm.
Maybe Douglas Adams, the author of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, maybe he was onto something. Maybe dolphins really are some
Mhm.
alien species.
I mean, they're mammal and they're like one of the smartest in the sea. So
That's true. Maybe dolphins are the humans of the sea. So anyway, we'll get back to topic here. We kind of went off down
rabbit hole.
a separate holler there for a second. So yeah, I'm excited about the release of the UFO alien files. Your two favorite spooks here at Appalachia Not So Quiet will be digging around in those files whenever they start releasing. Well, like I said, I don't think there's any question now. They are real. Here's the thing. Are they technological ships being piloted by some being?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they some kind of being themselves? Is
Like
it
a spiritual being or something?
yeah, a spiritual being or just some kind of being we don't know about or understand?
Mm.
Because, sometimes people very clearly describe a ship, a spaceship,
Mm-hmm.
A saucer, metallic, and then the beings come out of the ship.
Right. And this goes back to kind of where we talked about the choirs of angels, and people said that they were scary and they descended from the heavens and there was a bright
Yep.
light. And I even say that Jesus was extraterrestrial. He descended from heavens, the bright light.
That's the thing. I
So-
mean, there was, I think, a still ongoing television show,
Mm.
Ancient Aliens, on History Channel. And they made some pretty valid arguments when it came to how they compared the visitation of angels to the visitation of aliens. They are eerily similar. So, I mean, it could be maybe this is just some new form they've chosen to present themselves. Or maybe the people back in the Bible days, maybe these people were seeing these and they were just describing them the best they could.
Yeah, because like the English language has expanded so much. Well, the language in general, words
Right.
have expanded so much
Well,
in
and
years.
here's another thing. This always gets to me too. Is, the Bible was originally recorded in Aramaic, I guess, and then later on Greek, and it stayed Greek for a really, really long time. And then eventually it was translated into English. And if you go back and translate word for word exactly what those old Greek texts say, they're a little bit different in some parts. So obviously, I'm not a scholar or theologian, or anything, but that just seems really weird. So maybe some of these stories about angels, maybe they sound even more like aliens if you go back to those original texts. But anyway, we're getting off track again. What is wrong with us tonight? Okay, so we're going to talk about a few UFO stories from right here close to home. We're going to travel back through time and testimony to talk about sightings and strange aerial events. Many of these were even seen by dozens of people. Some of these were captured on video.
Gotta have the evidence.
And this particular one I'm about to talk about involved the police as well. So not too far away from us is Pike County, Pikeville. Everybody knows Pikeville. And there was an event that happened not too long ago. You may remember this. It was in 2012, and it was a mass UFO sighting in Pikeville, Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't remember right off. Those are the years I was working 16, 18-hour shifts at the
Well,
hospital.
yeah,
I don't know what
didn't
was
have a
up,
lot
what
of
was
time.
down, or
Didn't have a lot
daylight
of
and dark. I didn't know.
didn't have a lot of time for news. But I mean, it was everywhere. I do remember this happening. And once I start talking about it, you may remember it because, like I said, it was everywhere. This event lit up phones, social media, and the national news. October 16th, 2012. Clear autumn night. No rain, no storms, just clear sky and cool mountain air. Folks in Pike County began looking up and seeing something unusual. According to the local news reports at the time, the Kentucky State Police Post 9 in Pikeville received 5 separate calls about an object in the sky. People saw it from South Williamson, Elkhorn City, and Virgie, where it was photographed.
Yeah, that's like a 25, maybe 30-minute drive from my parents' house.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, that's just across the hill there.
Which, like I said, I've seen them before.
Yeah, you said
Close.
you've seen them over in that
Yeah.
area. So an amateur astronomer, Alan Epling, someone familiar with stars and typical night sky objects, told reporters it looked like 2 fluorescent bulbs side by side, parallel, shining very brightly. He described it getting bright enough to appear almost like it merged into one light and then dimming down to near invisibility. That's not behavior you see from your standard aircraft navigation lights and the such. There was even a video later uploaded, filmed through a telescope, showing the object in the night sky over Virgie. The witness emphasized that the object didn't drift like a balloon. It stayed relatively stationary at about 60 degrees above the horizon. Local authorities were puzzled. No routine aircraft, no scheduled satellites, and authorities at nearby airports didn't provide any answers. People called police, and the calls weren't jokes. They were firsthand reports from concerned witnesses. One man said, "Yeah, me and my cousin saw it after supper. It was hanging there like somebody flicked a light switch on." And an elderly woman said that she called the Pikeville police and they told her that other folks had been seeing it too.
She knows she wasn't crazy.
And that's the thing. I mean, multiple separate people saw this same thing, this same phenomenon. Months later, a prominent tech company, you may have heard of them, Google,
Yeah. He's on a lot.
They came forward under their experimental internet project known as Project Loon and said what people were seeing was one of their high-altitude solar-powered balloons designed to float at around 60,000 feet.
Why would they send it to this area? You know, why? Like
Well,
they would put it in an open city.
supposedly,
I mean, they could have very well lost it in the
Yeah.
mountains here.
and this is the point in the story where I finally remembered this story because I remember Google saying, oh no, that's our new balloon that provides internet to rural areas. It just floats around the entire globe.
Well, how do they know it's going to work if none of us has login stuff?
I don't know. I
How
don't
the
understand
hell?
it. I didn't look into it.
That's crazy.
It
They're
just
lying.
it sounded ridiculous.
It is.
But all these people, all these locals that were calling the police, seeing this thing, including this amateur astronomer who filmed it through his telescope, they didn't buy that.
I mean, they would have sent out, like I said, warning, probably like, try out our new internet. We're trying to see if it works in your Royal Mountains area. Here's login password.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I mean, they said it was just like a test run or whatever. And then they decided it was, wasn't worth doing, so they just dropped it.
Of course not. They don't want to
Yeah.
waste it on us hillbillies.
I wonder if the government called them up, was like, hey, do you think you could make up some BS
Right.
about an internet balloon?
Yeah. Trying to cover this up.
But these people also pointed out that the actual Project Loon balloons that had been publicly shown by Google had a very different shape than what they were seeing there in Pike County.
I mean, something to like how popular internet is in the rural area, because it still is a new and happening thing for a lot of us after many years. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you think Google would advertise, like, hey, we're doing this, we're testing this in your area because not everyone there gets internet.
I remember working at Sykes. Probably everybody out there has worked at Sykes at some point.
Not me.
It was a revolving door of just about everybody in the county, or well, actually several counties. But when I was working there, we were doing tech support for DSL internet service for all the West Coast and then up in northeastern United States and then down in Florida and then like Texas and on out west. So, I was doing tech support for these
Right. With dollop.
all
right?
these with all these people, calling in wanting to know what's wrong with their, 500 megabyte per second DSL line.
You're like, I don't know. I'm on dollop.
And
It takes me 30 minutes to connect.
well, actually, the building there, I don't know how they worked it, but they had high speed internet
Yeah.
at Sykes, but that wasn't available to your regular customer. I couldn't get it at my house. The only thing that we could get at the house was dial up because the phone lines already existed, and they weren't going to spend all the money to run fiber optic.
But you're sitting here telling these people how to use theirs.
Yeah, trying to teach these rich Western United States people how to run their internet. And I'm just this dumb little hillbilly boy. So this isn't quite Phoenix Lights territory where there was thousands of people who saw some kind of object in the sky with lights. But you do have around a dozen people who saw this thing. So that lends a lot of truth to all their story because they all saw the same thing slowly moving through the area because it was spotted in, several different places across Pike County.
And authorities have documentation of all these people.
Yeah. And like I said, this made national news. So I'm sure we can pull up something to put up on TikTok or something regarding
Yeah, we'll put that
this. Like I said, there's a still image from the video and then the video that this guy took. So that's pretty incredible. That makes it even better because now we have evidence. We have, physical evidence. Beyond 12, like 12 people seeing this thing, have video footage as well. And it doesn't match what the explanation was. This Google Loon project. So you don't remember that one?
No, I don't. Like I said, I didn't know up and down, daylight and dark. I was
very busy.
working my tail off at the hospital.
Yeah, you were very busy. But those aren't the only strange lights that have been seen in Pikeville. You may remember this one. I don't know. But this is back a little further This is a few decades back, and it's about lights that were seen at a ball game, a baseball game. So, according to archived UFO news clippings, you can see all this on MUFON's UFO news clipping service. There was an event where folks in Pikeville, I think it was an elementary baseball game because it was the Pikeville Cubs.
Probably like a little league game. Because
Yeah.
the little leagues have all different.
Okay. Yeah, probably little league then. But the people there at the ball game and then other customers in the area at nearby restaurants, and of course all the kids, all the players out there on the field, they all saw this.
Yeah. They all weren't struck in the head with the same baseball.
Yeah, they all spotted the same object in the night sky right above the baseball game. They said it looked rectangular in shape, not like a plane or a helicopter. There were distinct lights, 2 bright yellow ones. Then as it came closer, they saw 4 lights. There was 2 red lights on it as well. The players on the field paused play. Spectators stood and watched as the lights hovered over the ballpark. Some witnesses at the restaurant, a place called the Log Cabin.
Oh yeah, that's a good. Well, I'm not sure if it's still there or not, but that's a good place to eat.
Well, everybody in there had just, it was dead quiet.
Yeah.
They all stopped talking and everybody was looking at this thing. One witness, Mrs. McCoy, saw the craft from her home and said it behaved unlike a typical aircraft. No sound, slow movement, and a shape unlike any known craft she'd ever seen. Again, this account comes from historic UFO archives, not just mainstream news. And all the details were gathered. All these witnesses, well, probably not all of them, but a lot of these witnesses gave testimony to the fact that they saw this thing, and it's all archived. So you can't throw, I don't even know how many people there are. You just know how many people actually filed a report saying, yeah, this is what I saw. And they all described the same thing.
It's more believable when it's a whole group of people.
Right. You can't say that didn't happen. Well, why are like 50 people lying?
Yeah, even kids. I mean, you can't really, in a split second, manipulate a child and to lie about something
I mean,
like that.
kids will make up stuff and lie about stuff, but all of them making up and lying about the exact same thing.
Having the same story. It's hard to make the kids have the same exact story.
Yeah. So,
but Sally may say Tommy has on a black shirt and Billy says Tommy has on a blue shirt. I mean, kids just see things differently.
Well, I mean, there's always discrepancies in eyewitness accounts, but pretty much everybody described that exact same rectangular shape, 4 lights, 2 yellow, 2 red, and it just hovered there. And then it just kind of lazily just drifted off. I mean, that's kind of what happened. I've talked on a previous episode about my experience. Well, one of my experiences, the best one. Me and my brother out in the yard, and we see this thing just pull up, sit over top of the house for like a good 5 or 10 minutes, and then just drift away. What the heck was that? I still to this day have no idea. But I think we get closer and closer to the answers because obviously the government has been investigating this, and conspiracy theorists have been made fun of for years and years and years.
I know I've been made fun of.
Yeah, for claiming this stuff is real. Now we know it is 100% real. So those are my 2 stories from the night skies of Eastern Kentucky.
I have one to add to the Eastern Kentucky skies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's just 20 minutes down the road from Pikeville.
Okay.
And this one was documented in a book. It says on March the 15th, 1950, 31 students at Prestonsburg Elementary School reportedly witnessed a fleet of UFOs landing near their schoolyard.
A fleet?
So
in Prestonsburg?
In Prestonsburg.
Man, a fleet of UFOs landed near the school.
Yep, and it's in, there's more information in the Schoolyard UFO Encounters by Preston Deaton. So there's like a whole
so there's a
journal
whole book about
of
this.
Just kids seeing these in the schoolyards or teachers seeing them near the schoolyards.
That is crazy. But they never saw any aliens?
No, it was just like a fleet of them.
It was just UFOs.
Right.
A whole bunch of UFOs. That's weird. That is very weird. I mean, if you think about it, our area of Eastern Kentucky, it's perfect for this kind of thing. All these hollers and ridges. You see this wide open night sky. There's not really a lot of light pollution and stuff in
Right.
our area. I mean, you got people who live back up on top of the mountain and they've got even greater view than we do.
Yeah.
But I mean, just back up in our little holler, we have a nice big wide open view of the night sky. And yeah, where there's not as much light pollution and all that, you can see a lot more.
Yeah. It's really beautiful too.
Yeah.
The things that you can see.
But it's the kind of place where you notice when something is moving around in the sky.
Yeah.
Because you can't help but notice because you see all the stars. Places like Pike County and neighboring areas have had their fair share of UFO reports outside just these moments. And that's part of the broader discussion. These are just more stories on the pile.
Yeah, and we discussed one that was in Knott County on one of our episodes. We talked about a coal miner and some of his friends seeing a light, and then it like split apart into several different pieces.
Oh yeah, that was the mine surveyor and an EPA guy.
Yeah,
and like their
wives.
wives.
Yeah,
And yeah, they were just kind of hanging out, grilling burgers or something. And yeah, they see this thing just come flying through the sky and it splits apart.
yeah,
One disappears and the other one makes like a 90-degree turn, comes right at them.
yeah.
There's so many weird things like that. I'm just really glad that, like I said, people are becoming more accepting and we're kind of figuring out this isn't a if, this is a
What is?
what is it?
Yeah.
You know, but not just our little corner of Appalachia has these strange things, these strange sightings all over Appalachia. There's been weird sightings, and you have some stories that take us all throughout Appalachia.
Yeah, all throughout Appalachia.
Part of a larger group of sightings
Yeah.
that were all over the place east of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
But
I mean, a majority of them were in the Appalachian area.
right,
In the
a lot of
Appalachian
it-
terrain.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
it was seen in Appalachia, and that's what goes back to what I was saying about back in these mountains. You have a really good view of the sky, so maybe just more people see things out here.
So, have you heard of the Great UFO invasion of Appalachia in 1973?
I have not, but I'm very interested because you shared the title with me, but nothing else.
Well, the 1973, some refer to it as the UFO flap, but they also call it the Great UFO invasion of Appalachia. For several months in the fall of 1973, thousands of people across the Appalachian region reported UFO sightings. It became one of the largest waves of UFO reportings in U.S. history.
Thousands. So this is kind of like the Phoenix Lights then, like thousands of people saw all these craft.
Yeah. So most reports happened between October and December 1973 and stretched across Kentucky, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Tennessee, and Virginia. It was so intense that the local police, newspapers, and military, as well as the FBI, were all contacted repeatedly.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I wonder why you don't hear a whole lot about this then, because this is news to me. I don't remember some big mass UFO sighting in 1973.
And they said there's thousands of reports in such a short time. Many witnesses were police officers, pilots, and military personnel. Sightings included close encounters, not just lights in the sky. Reports also involved humanoid beings, Bigfoot-like creatures, or glowing crafts.
What?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Mm-mm.
This happened
This happened
in 1973. There wasn't just mass panic.
Yeah, I mean, so there was so many reports coming in, like the police just stopped taking the calls. There were so many reports coming in of people talking about this.
Wow.
There was even a gentleman, he was watching the World Series and his wife and daughter were outside like, oh my gosh, UFO. Ah. He called the police and he's like, look, y'all get the hell out here and do something about this UFO because I'm in the middle of watching the World Series and my wife and daughter won't shut up. Come do something.
It's interrupted my baseball
run them
game.
off so I can watch my game. That's what he called and reported.
That's a good one.
He did not care the UFOs out there. He's like, my game is on.
Screw them aliens. I want baseball, daggone it.
So, here's one of the stories which it expands outside of Appalachia. It's in Mississippi, and this happened
Okay.
on October 11th, 1973. The Pascagoula abduction in Mississippi.
Pascagoula, Mississippi. Yep. I've been by there.
And this says that two shipyard workers, Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker, said they were abducted by strange robotic beings near the river.
Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Now, we have mentioned this one before on a previous episode, just in passing.
Yeah.
We mentioned, oh, yeah, one time there was a couple of dock workers down there in Mississippi who claimed they saw robotic beings. And, usually they're not described as robotic. So we thought that was weird. But yeah, I didn't realize it was the first stop along a mass sighting of UFOs in 1973.
So Charles Hickson never regretted the national attention that he got from this. He told authorities he encountered an unidentified flying object and its occupants 40 years ago. This is from an article that he done.
Okay.
Or there's an interview someone done with him.
Right.
On the banks of the river until his death in 2011. Hickson told his story to anyone that would sit down and listen. But Calvin Parker Jr., the other man present for one of the highest profile UFO cases in American history, says his encounter with gray, crab clawed creatures from somewhere else, October 11th, 1973, turned his life upside down. Quote, "This is something I really don't want to happen," Parker told the Associated Press as the 40th anniversary of the encounter approached. The incident sparked a wave of UFO sightings nationwide and became one of the most widely examined cases on record. Skeptics range from the deputies who first interviewed the men to an author who sought to poke holes in the story. Parker himself has had conflicting thoughts about whether he was visited by aliens or possibly demons. Parker was 18 when he went fishing with Hicks. See, this one says he went fishing. Other things say that they were
Dock
workers.
Yeah.
So,
they were working together.
but this is where I'm like, did they come from the water?
Yeah.
Either way, both of them's located near the water. So whatever they were doing there. So Parker was 18 when he went fishing with Hickson on a tranquil Thursday night after work. So they must have
okay.
both-
So
yeah.
maybe they are dock workers, but they weren't working.
Yeah, they went fishing
at
after
the time.
work.
They just went fishing. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
Two said a UFO with blue lights swooped down, making a zipping noise.
A zipping noise, like a zipper on a jacket or something. Zip.
I have no idea. Hickson said 3 creatures with leathery gray skin and crab-like claws took him by the forearm, levitating them aboard the craft, and he said something that looked like a large floating eye appeared to examine him. Park said
Wow.
he was conscious but paralyzed, and they gave a thorough, and he said, I mean thorough examination to me, just
Yeah.
like any doctor said he would. Probe. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. So, I hope not. And then they were back on shore where it all began. Officials at the Jackson County Sheriff's Department initially suspected both men were drunk, but they stuck to their story. After then, Glenn Ryder conducted a formal interview. Deputies left Hickson and Parker in a room with a hidden tape recorder, hoping to catch them in a lie. He said, I don't know what happened to them, Ryder said. I wasn't there with them, but I know you don't fake fear, and they were fearful.
Yeah. Scared to death. Who wouldn't be? Yeesh.
Yeah.
Man, that sounds terrifying. But yeah, I never realized that this sparked after this. There was this huge wave of UFO sightings all across the eastern half of the United States. That's crazy.
And then, we have Ohio in October 18th, 1973, the Coney helicopter UFO encounter. An Army Reserve helicopter crew reported a close encounter near Mansfield, Ohio. Said it was cigar-shaped craft approached their helicopter. The green beam that came from the UFO, the helicopter suddenly rose about 2,000 feet, and controls were temporarily unresponsive.
I remember this one.
Yeah.
You said Mansfield, Ohio,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I remember this one because I heard about it on Coast to Coast. Like most things we talk about on here, people hear me say, I heard that on Coast to Coast AU all the time.
And this is one of the most credible UFO encounters for the military during the wave. So
Yeah.
this should be in the files,
Oh,
if I'm
yeah.
guessing. So,
Well, it may have already been released. That may be why we know quite a bit about it or something.
but I mean, it should be released with everything else. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Any more details should come out.
and then Pennsylvania, though it doesn't have a date, it happened, between October and December sometime. Dozens of witnesses reported hairy humanoid creatures shortly after a UFO sighting.
This is so
Yep.
strange.
Descriptions include 7 to 10 foot tall creatures, glowing red or green eyes, strong sulfur or rotten egg smell, creatures seen near landing lights or glowing orbs. Some people think these sightings influence later, maybe the Mothman type folklore in the region.
Maybe. Well, I mean, that could be an explanation for a lot of things. If these weird creatures, some of which we've talked about right here on Appalachia Not So Quiet, if they're coming from the aliens, maybe that's why we never can really find one.
Yeah,
It's just they come out and scare us or eat us,
right.
and then the aliens just pick them back up.
Maybe. But I mean, throughout Appalachia, there was, like I said, lots and lots of reports, hundreds and thousands of reports of people calling in, and a lot of them strange craft, silent triangles, cigar shapes, glowing orange spears, objects hovering over hollers and ridge lines, humanoid beings. They would
This is
say
crazy.
gray, robotic beings, hairy Bigfoot like creatures, tall glowing figures.
This is
Other weird
insane.
details are like our dogs are howling or they're hiding, our cattle's acting strange, electronic devices are malfunctioning. Some felt paralyzed as they watched, like they were just stuck.
This is
So,
wild.
yeah.
So, I mean, and all this happened over just those few months,
Mhm.
1973.
And during that time, it just ended in 1969, the Project Blue Book.
That's right. Yep.
But, the Air Force still received reports after that.
Well, yeah. Of course they did. They had their own encounters too.
And then, the FBI had like several logbooks of strange lights, landing creatures, and they could never fully explain like what was going on. And then back down, I want to think around where the Hopkinsville, the Kellys,
Yeah. Yeah.
the Green Kelly
Kelly,
aliens.
Kentucky.
Yeah. So during this time, there was more reports in that area. Years
Wow.
later.
Well, there were more UFOs
Mhm.
popping up in Kelly, Kentucky.
Yeah. And this is strange timing for this to happen because during 1973, Cold War tensions, NASA's Skylab launches, rise of paranormal interest in the 1970s, and then there was massive media coverage of UFO stories.
Well, I wonder, which I'm sure a lot of experts out there have already claimed this, but the fact that you have this very credible sighting from these two guys down in Mississippi, if that didn't start just some kind of cascade effect, some kind of mass hysteria where everything everybody saw was a UFO, but that doesn't explain it all. It can't possibly be just everybody mistaking everything for a UFO. Like you said, a lot of these encounters, people are very clearly describing,
Yeah.
cigar shaped, rectangle,
Right.
triangle.
In eastern Kentucky, several witnesses were like, it's happening around strip mines and coal mine entrances, orange glowing spheres,
Yeah.
light hovering over the ridges, objects that shoot straight up into the sky. Hunters would claim as they were out hunting that these lights were following them through the hills.
Oh boy.
Yeah, in West Virginia, dozens of people reported low flying crafts silently hovering, moving up river valleys, and they're hovering over the power lines, and that they would report high pitched humming sounds. And we go into Southwest Virginia, people reporting triangle shapes, rotating colored lights. They're hovering over the farmland and the ridges, and they would follow cars along the back roads, and then suddenly they would just shoot straight up in the air. Like after the people would look in the
That's
rear view and be
weird.
like, "Oh, what is that behind me?"
I wonder what event may have triggered just a sudden wave of interest from these, whatever they are.
Mhm.
aliens.
And they say in Tennessee, large single disc, and again in open fields. That's where they, I guess, are planning to land and stuff, trying to find open
Well,
areas.
yeah.
So
If these are some kind of craft, then obviously they need space to land, kind of like a helicopter or anything. So yeah, it makes sense that they would go to these wide open fields, farms, tops of these mountains that have been flattened out and stuff.
but I'm wondering if they haven't been here coming through for years, and like the older folk or great grandparents and stuff, they didn't know what they were, so they just assumed they were like witching lights, paint lights, or
Yeah, all
booger
those
lights, or
all those weird lights they used to talk about. They used to talk about the will-o-wisps. They were these lights that float around the woods, and they would harm you. You had to avoid them. Yeah, what if these were something alien? What if this is some kind of little alien drone? It's like a little light flies around. It's got a camera on it or something, and it's just checking stuff out.
I mean, I said in that last episode about UFOs that something that looked drone-like came
Right.
close to our house. I mean,
Yeah,
it was hovering over a swimming
back
pool.
then we didn't know about drones.
Yeah.
If we had them.
Right.
There was no such thing, supposedly. But yet, yeah, you clearly saw something that was very much like the drones we have.
And of course, after many of these people made these accusations and called and, reported their sightings, people showed up, right?
Oh, yeah.
They call them the Men in Black.
Oh,
Yeah.
those people showed up.
Yeah, these weren't just rumors about government agencies. Many witnesses described them very strange, almost unnatural visitors who showed up after UFO sightings and told people, keep quiet.
You saw nothing.
So, is that the government?
Well,
Secret Service seems to be weird.
Well, I don't think it's
like
the actual government.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think it's some kind of
Cult.
shadow type of government.
Yeah, they said that they would appear in black suits, black hats, very pale, and no facial expressions.
Because even anytime they talk about these people, these men in black, these operatives that seem to be spying on people, collecting information, whatever they're doing, whenever other government people, you ask the CIA, FBI, and stuff like that, they're like, no, we don't know what you're talking about. We're not involved in this. So, I mean, they could just be lying because obviously they like to lie to us a lot, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like they operate with our regular government. It seems like they are either above it or just hidden from it. It could be some kind of, special interest
and another thing
type of cult thing, like you said.
That they said they had like weird behavior, that they slowly spoke strangely to them, seemed unfamiliar with normal social behavior and how to talk to people.
So maybe the Men in Black are aliens.
And they would they would ask odd, unrelated questions like, "What's your opinion of electricity? Do you consume food called gelatin?"
That's weird. Okay. I thought they were just coming around going, "What'd you see?" And then you tell them what you saw, and they go, "No, you didn't. You didn't see anything."
Right. Because
shut up.
Maybe it's just their way to strike up a conversation. Do you eat gelatin?
But that's, that makes you think that they're robots.
Yeah.
There's the answer. It's not people. The Men in Black are robots that the government built to fight the aliens.
A man who reported a UFO hovering over a field said 2 men showed up 2 days later, and he said they asked him to stop talking to reporters and told him the site was a weather experiment. He's like, oh, okay.
Wait,
he never told anybody.
He wasn't talking to anybody, but they showed up and were like, stop talking to reporters.
This is a weather experiment. Yeah.
But the guy wasn't talking to reporters.
Said that they sounded almost mechanical.
There you go. See, I was right. They're robots built to fight the aliens. I'm telling you. There you go, Hollywood. If you're listening out there, that's the script for Men in Black 4 or 5, whichever one we're up to now. There you go. The Men in Black are actually robots.
And then after the Bigfoot-like creature sightings in Pennsylvania, witnesses reported visiting by men in black suits, had extremely thick makeup on, eyebrows looked painted on, all excited.
That's so weird.
It spoke with a strange pause. The man allegedly told them, "You did not see what you think you saw."
Yeah, I'm telling you, these things are advanced robots from the future or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's theories that they're government agents, theories that something strange, unnatural speech patterns, lack of emotion. People's like they're not human at all. Well, they're robots, like
Yeah.
you're saying.
Robots, they're just built to act kind of human. I'm telling you, there's going to be a new Men in Black movie, and
I think so.
the big twist at the end is going to be
The files.
Will Smith is actually a robot.
So during this time, after everybody's reporting, they called these the Phantom helicopters after the Appalachian UFO wave. Many witnesses
Okay.
across the Appalachian and eastern United States reported something strange happening after each sighting. People began seeing unmarked helicopters flying low over the rural areas,
Okay.
especially at night.
Well, this is not unusual because you've got guys in black suits showing up, asking questions and telling you to shut your mouth. You didn't
Mhm.
see anything. So obviously they're probably going to be patrolling the skies too, looking for these things.
Yeah, witnesses they flew very low over their homes and fields, and they had no visible markers and no lights and very little noise. They described them as flying down narrow hollers, circling coal mines, hovering above ridge tops, and searching through remote woods with spotlights.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
hunters in Appalachia said sometimes they heard helicopters late at night deep in the mountains, so they were hunting for something.
I wonder. So the aliens maybe had these creatures. You had your Bigfoots, also little green goblin things. So they're turning them loose on us, and the Men in Black are out there. Maybe they're hunting for those things.
Yeah, they said like their aircraft pattern was just the way they were flying was like they were hunting for something.
Yeah.
They were searching really hard.
Or very possibly they were just looking for any kind of trace of these creatures these people supposedly saw.
Yeah.
Maybe possibly there would still be an aircraft on the ground, or maybe a dead body of an alien or something. Maybe that's what they were looking for. I'm guessing that they were just trying to find anything they could regarding this incident because, of course, the government wants to know everything.
And of course the government was throwing it out there. Their theory is once people heard about the UFO in the news, that many started noticing normal helicopters more than others. Noticing them more often. Just because of one
Oh,
report.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, there's not more helicopters around.
Psychological
Yeah, you're
effect.
just noticing more helicopters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm noticing it because there's more freaking helicopters.
Mhm. So, because it was so heavily reported, and they were like trying to find other excuses as well. They're like, "Y'all just have Cold War anxiety."
Cold War anxiety. I mean, there's no doubt that people's nerves were on edge with all the propaganda. Let's be honest, that's what it was. All the propaganda talking about how scary Russia is and communism is going to get us. So people may have been freaking out that everything they saw was the Russians coming to get them.
Yeah, I don't think that they're that far advanced than other countries.
Well, I mean, they weren't, but we didn't know
Yeah.
because they were kind of behind their Iron Dome. We didn't know much of anything that was going on in Russia during the Cold War. They finally started opening up a little bit, doing some trading and things of that nature, but it went pretty hard and heavy there until the Berlin Wall fell. That's when everything kind of started falling apart for communism. But yeah, the Soviets were kind of the boogeyman behind everything. But they're trying to say that because they were so anxious about the Russians could be doing something, they were hallucinating this stuff?
I guess.
Or just they were mistaken regular aircraft for this stuff because they thought I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm trying to work that out in my head, but I don't understand how being afraid of Russia is going to make you see aliens.
Sometimes I think our government tries to scare us themselves.
Well, they
as
do.
well.
They absolutely. That's what I said. The pro-American propaganda machine wasn't quite as hardcore as the Soviet propaganda machine. They had convinced their entire population that America needed to go bye-bye. But America was doing just as much propaganda, but they were just saying communism can't take over. It's not going to work. It's going to be bad for everybody. And I mean, it's absolutely true. It's understandable propaganda, I guess.
So, since we're on the topic of government, what are your thoughts on Area 51? Do you think that's going to be in the files?
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they'll carefully redact a lot of the things. So I'm sure Area 51 will be mentioned. I don't think it's a big secret that they were looking at strange things there and some odd things were going on. There have been whistleblowers
Mm-hmm.
from Area 51, but they're usually just discredited and say, well, we fired them and they're making up all this stupid stuff.
There's a lot of locals there too that report seeing strange lights and
Yep.
things like
People have
that.
seen
So
all kinds of weird things
yeah,
around that place.
I don't think this has been going on for so many years, and our government not figured out a way to communicate with them in some way.
Yeah. Or at least tried
Yeah.
to communicate with them. Who knows if they were successful? So I don't see how any of that factors in. But these sightings, they went all the way from Mississippi to Pennsylvania.
But there's a lot more stories that you can listen to. Podcast stories of Appalachia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called the Great UFO Invasion of Appalachia. That's the name of the episode. You can find that.
Oh, okay.
Find it on YouTube or storiesofAppalachia.com.
Okay. So it's a podcast with some fellow Appalachians kind of doing the same thing we are, talking about all this
It's
weird stuff.
It's like a 11-minute clip of them talking about.
Oh, okay. So
things
it's one of
that
the
happen.
short form podcasts.
Yeah,
Well, those are cool. I mean,
but a lot of
you know,
people's never heard of the
exactly.
waves.
I mean, like I heard about the dock workers or whatever that saw the robotic beings. So I mean, I've probably heard a few of the stories, but I didn't realize that there was like this big wave over just these couple months or whatever in 1973, where there were just UFO after UFO seen all across, especially up around Appalachia. That's really awesome.
And they, like I said, they have some really great stories of people's sightings and things like that. So
Yeah,
I won't ruin their stories for them and tell you about them. So just definitely go check them out.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check them out because there's been a lot of UFO sightings around Appalachia. And we've even talked about
our own experiences.
Yeah, our own experiences. I mean, because that's where it starts. That's how it always starts. You have this experience and you're like, that was not normal.
No.
That was something weird, strange, outside of possibility. You want to, well, at least I do, to look deeper and see what else is out there, see how many other people have seen these things. And you start realizing that it seems like the majority of people have seen these things.
Had an encounter.
Yeah, had some kind of encounter with UFOs.
They can stay in the sky all day and, just don't abduct me. Don't make any physical contact with me.
And when you get up into states like Ohio, there was a recent news report that I read that there have been over 4,000 abductions reported since 2019 in Ohio.
Alert to our families in Ohio that are listening.
Yeah, it says that Ohioans have a 1.13% chance of being abducted by aliens.
It's time to move back to the mountains, guys.
Every single person in Ohio has a little more than a 1% chance of being abducted by aliens. Is that just too much of a chance for you?
I don't want a chance at all. Like I said, they can hover and fly around all they want. No physical contact or need to see them.
But the reason this was newsworthy is because that's abnormally high.
Yeah.
For some reason, a lot of abductees are from Ohio. It's just weird. I mean, I guess I'm not too freaked out by that. I would kind of like to meet an alien.
Oh, absolutely not. Do it on your own time. Do not do it within a 100-mile radius of me. No.
I mean, I'd just like to say, hey, hi.
Why not? I don't care what they're doing. No, I don't care what they're doing. Leave me alone. I don't care. I don't need to know what they're doing. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
No, I think we need to know what they're doing. We need to know
they need to go on back where they came from.
Well, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I need to know why they're running around our planet harassing us, abducting us, probing people. I mean, I want answers. This is ridiculous. Cattle mutilations and decapitations and things.
That's why I don't.
I mean, all of this is tied.
Do that to us.
Yeah, all this is tied to UFOs.
Yeah.
And there's just so many cases, so many sightings. so many firsthand accounts of abductions. It's overwhelming. And they're always trying to pass it off as high altitude balloons, experimental aircraft, swamp gas, the moon reflected off of a penny in the Walmart parking lot.
I'm not going
There's
to be able to sleep tonight.
there's always some goofy
Yeah.
explanation. But when you have these cases like we've discussed, where you have multiple independent witnesses, they're calling the police, they're taking photos, taking videos, and they're all describing the same thing.
Exact same thing.
Yeah. I mean,
To detail.
yeah, that's when you really have to pay attention
Mhm.
because this isn't just hysteria. This isn't imagination. This isn't hallucination. This is something actually happening.
I just don't see that many people hallucinating at one time in such a large
Yeah,
group.
I don't see how mass hallucination is a thing. That makes zero sense.
Right.
I've never understood that
Yeah.
one. But like I said at the very beginning, one thing's for sure. This is absolutely happening. And whether it is one of these goofy explanations of a balloon and swamp gas, or if it's actual aliens.
Or your neighbor lit up a whole bale of weed, everybody in a 100-mile radius hallucinating.
They burned the weed field
Yeah.
back up on top of the mountain, made the entire holler high, and they all saw an alien spacecraft.
I'll never understand that, why they cut it all down and then burn it.
Yeah.
And it just floats down the holler. We all enjoy it anyway.
That's just the one time a year that those National Guard guys get to have a good time.
Well, I mean, crop harvesting is in October.
Yeah, hey, there you go. Yeah. All these sightings around October. So we know that there's probably just as many of these stories that haven't been told as there are that have been told. Anybody out there that has seen something strange in the sky, but you've been kind of afraid to talk about it because
the Men in Black will show up.
Yeah, Men in Black might show up, or your people are going to call you crazy or whatever. Shoot us a comment, shoot us an email or something. Tell us your story.
Yeah, we believe you.
Yeah, we'll get on here and tell your story because we know it's happening. We know it's real.
Or you can come on and tell your story yourself.
Yeah, so. we may even be able to have you come on and tell your story yourself. So don't be afraid to share your story. You've got friends right here on Appalachia Not So Quiet. Now, before we go, we want to say thank you once again to all of you amazing listeners out there. The amount of follows and listens, streams and downloads, all of that has just been climbing and climbing. And we are just so humbled by it. Thank you all so much. Just so many people out there are really showing us so much love and support.
Yeah, we got some groups that are helping share our content and helping boost us on social media, and they're really great groups too. If you need any paranormal investigation done, contact Bear City Paranormal Group out of North Carolina. And
Yeah, we've mentioned them before.
They have some ties to the Harlan County area, so they're
oh yeah,
they're familiar with Eastern Kentucky. So
okay, so they're local to Kentucky.
Give them a holler if you need it, and their services are free, I think.
Oh, yeah, they do this for free. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but I mean, the Southerners and our hospitality. I'm
sure
we'll
Southern hospitality. We'll come check out your ghost for you.
Yeah. Well, we'll give them something to eat and a place to lay their head so they can check it out.
Yeah.
So, and also, I'm guessing I'm saying this right. I'm probably totally wrecking it, but we're gonna show our Kentucky group some support here.
Okay.
God Be Paranormal out of Bonneville, Kentucky.
God Be Paranormal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, check them out. Definitely, they're a married couple, and they do research as well and investigations.
Okay. So kind of like us. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Give them a shout out there.
Go check them out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a huge thank you to all of you out there for coming in and listening to us talk about all this foolishness, all of our ghosts, our haints and boogers, and our aliens, our cryptids, our missing mysteries, our angels. We've talked about a lot of stuff on here, and we're so glad that all of you have enjoyed listening. I am your host, Hillbilly Phantom.
And I'm Appalachian Shade.
And we'll catch you on the next one. Till then, keep your eyes on the skies and watch out for them boogers.